Hey all, hope y'all are doing good. So in the series of Agentic AI, this is what the complete videos that we have seen and executed so far. So in today's video, we are going to implement an MCP servers, not create. We are going to use MCP server. In our upcoming videos, we are going to create an MCP. So what is MCP servers and what is the setup that we have seen previously? And if you go to this second folder, which is for MCP folder, I've added the guide also for MCP, which I have demoed in the previous video. If you can see, complete WSL setup for MCP development. So I hope now you're clear with MCP with this video. If you have not seen the previous video, please go and check that out. So with that mentioned, let's get started. So if I see, this is the diagram that we are trying to achieve, right? So what we are going to do is the code that we are writing, the invoker is going to be our MCP client. So this is where we are going to write our client code, and this is going to invoke the MCP server. So if MCP server is running on some website or some host, we'll call it as remote. If it is running on our local, we'll call it as a local MCP server. So the kind of connection that we create, if it's on remote or if it's on local, is different, as we have seen SSC and STDIO. So we are going to use two MCP servers today, and what are those we will see in a minute. So with that, let's jump onto the notebook. So you can find this in the GitHub link I have shared here. So lab 7 MCP, you can go here, you can run it, or you can tweak it and see. So with that mentioned, we will jump on to the lab. Okay, make sure you are opening it in the Ubuntu. So how do you open it in the Ubuntu? Let me show once again if you are not already aware. So first you have to open PowerShell. So this is my PowerShell, and if you say WSL, by default it might open probably Docker desktop, Ubuntu, or whatever is there by default. So I'll just exit this one, and then I will say WSL -- list. So you can see these two are available with me in WSL. So I want to open Ubuntu, that's why I'm going to use WSL -d and Ubuntu. So whatever you want to open, you will say like this. So now I'm inside my Ubuntu host. So then I will go to my home directory, then I will go to my user directory, and then I will go to my projects. So wherever you want to go, you can go and clone it. So if you can see, I have cloned my thing here. So I'm simply going to go to cd agentic Dpoint, and I can say cursor dot. So with this, it will open my current directory in the cursor. So I hope we are clear. Now we are starting with lab 7. So we'll go to the top, and these are few of the commands I'm starting with to check your node version, your npx version, your npx version, so which we'll be using to run the MCP server. So I hope you can just run this and you can compare what versions are you using and what we are seeing in the demo, so that if you come across any issues, you can find what went wrong and what. And these are a few of the environment setup, so that we are going to create a sandbox directory, and why we are going to create, I will tell you in a minute. And then to validate what path you are in and what you are currently on, you can use this. And this is for npx version. I think we have already checked the npx version, so this is not required. Let me clear this up, and this is just for our reference. So all this you don't you just have to run for your environment configuration, nothing specific to the lab. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this, where I'm importing my .environment agent runner and everything that I need for the tracing purpose. And we have seen previously we have multiple kinds of tracing, right? So one which will help for Langsmith, one for OpenAI. So as of today, we are going to use the tracing of OpenAI. Okay, all this knowledge we have already discussed, that's why I won't spend much time on it. But before you run this command, okay, I have my own .env, which I'm not going to open, but I have created local .env for you, and here you populate your API keys. Now for this, open API key is sufficient for us in this lab, but for previous labs, all this were required. Okay, so I've already populated everything that I have in local.env, and I've renamed it to .env so that my project can make use of it. Okay, so make sure you are populating this, and then you are renaming to .env, and then we will try to load our OpenAI. Okay, so what are the 3 steps to host any MCP server? First we have to create a client, have it spawn as a server, and collect all the tools that the server can use. So here we are saying UVX MCP server fetch. So this is, and here we are calling that once that MCP server is created, we are explicitly calling listed tools. So we will see what all things are there. So here what happened is I asked what all tools does this MCP server has explicitly, but what my LLM do, it will take care of this call every time, and it will say what all tools available which is relevant to handle the user prompt or system prompt, and it will take care accordingly. Okay, so with that we are going to start with our next one. So we are going to use 2 servers today. The first MCP server is Playwright server. Now what is Playwright server? I won't explain you, you will see. So here I have explicitly, yeah, this one. So here as soon as I am running this, npx followed by my Playwright MCP server, and then once the server is created, I'm holding it, capturing it as a server, and then I'm invoking listed tools. So if you can see, it has browser close, resize, console, handle. So it has all these tools to operate on the browser. Okay, so Playwright I'm using for that purpose. It could be screenshot, open, close, search, or making any search engine calls to any browser, or it could be anything related to browsers. Okay, you can see snapshot as well. So similarly, I'm going to have one more MCP server, and that MCP server is, if you can see, npx server file system. So what is this server file system? Let me first run it, and you can see what I'm doing here is I'm creating one more server, and I'm accessing the tools of it by saying list tools. So what it has, read file, read, write file, list directory. So all the operations of files and directories this can happen. Now I'm going to use it, but before I use it, I just want to tell you one thing. These 2 MCP servers I'm running in my local, right? So that's why when the diagram, if you have seen, current slide, yeah, I'm using MCP server of my local, so that's why I'm going to use stdio mechanism, start the SSC mechanisms. So here if you can say, hey, all these are on the internet only, right? Yes, the logical nature or the operation that is doing is going to the internet and doing something, but where is that MCP server is running? That server is running on my local. Which server? The Playwright server. Okay, so where it is hosted, based on that we are seeing whether it's local or remote, not based on what it is doing. Okay, so with that I think we are clear, we are on the same page. So 2 servers we are creating, one for the file system and one for the browser based operations. Now simple, we have one instruction where I'm saying you browse the internet. Okay, you have the capability of browsing and accomplishing tasks, including accept all cookies or click not now, whichever is appropriate, so that you are not considered as a robot and you can do the task that is asked. Be persistent, so if you are not getting, you try other search engines and you continue to do that until you are able to complete the task. So this is my system prompt. Okay, and what all MCP servers I'm creating? One I'm creating the files, the browser one, the Playwright one, and one I'm creating for the file server. So these 2 MCP servers I've created, and then in the agent I am passing MCP server. So one is the file system, one is the Playwright server. So I am getting it from one side, and I will show you what all sites we have and from where all we can find the different alternatives and what other MCP servers do we have. All that we will see, but as of now I've created these 2 MCP servers and I have passed those 2 MCP servers as an argument to my agent. And once this agent is created, I'm going to say runner.run with my instruction. So what is my instruction? I'm saying find what all I can learn from the Dpoint YouTube channel, and why should I learn from it. Also save it in the Dpoint MD. So here we will see one thing happening. So let me run it first. Okay, and I see it is doing, and if you can see, I have created this trace MCP Dpoint E1. Now while it is loading, let me go and okay, so what it says, I'm currently unable to access YouTube directly due to some limitation. However, I can use the alternative approaches. May I proceed to search for information about Dpoint through other websites? So maybe we can tweak the prompt and we can do it, but we understood that it tried to do, but it was having some restrictions and limitation. Now what is that, why it happened? We will try to hold that off for a moment, but we will let's give a moment and we will jump on to see what it actually did in the logs. Okay, So if I go in the logs and if I refresh, let's see, traces MCP Dpoint E1 we can see, and it executed just now. Okay, so if I go inside, I can see first it said list MCP tools, and it got read operations all, and then it says read MCP tools for one more server. It got all these operations. Okay, and then it did some call, and this was the system prompt, this was the user prompt, and it went to YouTube's at the Dpoint because we asked for it. But I think my channel name is Dpoint YT, or it is different. Let's see what I'm getting. So if I open Dpoint and if I open this, yeah, see, the name is different. That's why I can see that why it did not get output. So we can, that's how we are debugging why it failed. It's not failed, why it did not get the information or what it did. So it did here, and then browser navigate, it went here and it got this response, and then it asked for fetch tools again from both MCP servers, and it got some other operations, and it gave the output that we want, that we were expecting. I am currently so this is the output prompt that we were seeing here. So we understood that it tried YouTube but with the actual value, but my value was something different. Okay, so that is just an example of how we can make use of the logging or tracing to find out why it came to this conclusion. Okay, but this is our understanding piece. Let's make it run one real one. Okay, and now also you have seen that I'm simply asking ki you be persistent to solve the assignment, etc. But here I'm going to give one more task. Okay, so I'm saying you this is the same prompt, but I'm saying you must use the file system MCP server to write in a sandbox directory for your reference in this directory. Okay, you need to make sure that you have access and permission to that directory, and when asked to save content, you must call this tool. Okay, now why I have to tell it the tool explicitly, we'll talk about that in a minute. And here I'm simply asking find about the history of this VNR VJIT and summarize it in the markdown VNR VJIT.md. Okay, now what it is doing, it is going to search, and it is going to do open the sites, different sites. It's going to collect the history, it is going to format it, it is going to store. I'm unable to use to access the I can provide a summary. Would you like to proceed with that? Okay, and now we are okay with it, but why it happened? So we'll go here and we'll go to traces and we'll see what happened with E2. Okay, now it did list tools as expected, and then it is making a call to this website. I did not tell which website, but it did. Okay, and then it went to some, and Chromium, this Chrome is not found, npx. Okay, maybe some distributions I need to run. Let me run that. So it did not find npx. I'll do that, give me 1 second. Okay, so what I did is I see in the logs that it says Chromium distribution Chrome is not found. Okay, so for that what I did is I ran this command npx playwright install Chrome, and now after installing it successfully, I ran this instruction once again, and let's wait for it. As of now it took 1 minute 20 seconds. Let's see what it does and goes through it. Okay, so it took 1 minute 33 seconds, and it says I have found the history and key information about VNR and summarized it in markdown format. The summary has been saved in this directory. If you need the further assistance, please let me know. Okay, so we found out that the response that it gave previously, that it is unable to do. Why it said that? Because we saw this, and that's why we resolved it, and we are going back, and we can see we ran it once again, and you can see this time it did browser evaluate, browser navigate, browser evaluate, and if we see, we are getting different responses every time because it is trying to do something. And then finally it did write file. So you can see how many tools did it execute: browse navigate, browse evaluate, browse navigate, browse evaluate, write file. 5 tools it executed. That's why when I go to traces, I can see the tools number of tools it executed is 5. Now with the help of MCP, I didn't have to write the tools, I didn't have to instruct it what is the description of each tool, when to use which one, what is the purpose. All that MCP explained, because the way the MCP server was written was following a certain protocol, and my LLM or my agent understood what is the tools and which one to use when and what is the purpose of each tool. And that's where it, so MCP is helpful. So we made use of MCP, we saw the logs, we resolved it, and yeah, so this is how we were using it. Okay, now what I can show you is we can go to mcp.so, llama.ai, and then smithry.ai, and then Hugging Face, and there's one article. So all this you can just give a skim through, and we can find different servers that are available for it. Playwright, and for Playwright I have so many different servers, right? So we can use any of them. Okay, this is just an example of what are available, and you can see Playwright MCP at the latest is what we were using, but how you can search for alternatives and how you can use whichever you want based on whatever is the feasibility. Okay, now let's me go once again. So it says this one. Now if I do list, I can see vnrvgit.md. Let me do one more thing and show you. So I'll go to this home Teja PS sandbox, and if I show this, it got created just now. Okay, so 2 minutes back. So that, I hope that was crisp, clear, to the point, and we understood how we are running it. MCP server, there are multiple servers locally, and we are not explicitly mentioning or informing to Agentic about any tools. It understood everything, and here you can say when it knows about all the tools that are available, why I have to say explicitly. Okay, so we are done with the tutorial, we are just doing a Q&A for last 2 minutes. So why I have to tell explicitly use this MCP servers and which tool to use? Let's see. Point is, MCP plays safe. Okay, if there is something that you did not define, you did not restrict, but if MCP does it, not MCP, if the agent does it, it could have a side effects like updating the database. Okay, making a post API calls or put API calls, or writing the files or modifying the files. All these kind of operation has a side effects. So you did not define the policies, you did not explicitly ask for it. So when it has an option, it will try to avoid doing the operation which has a side effects. Okay, so it's a good design, it's a good recommendation, it's a good thing that our agent is doing, or MCP is suggesting, or MCP is doing. Okay, so it knows it needs to write a file, but I did not ask it explicitly. So if I did not ask it explicitly, and if it does some execution which has a side effects, it will try to avoid it unless you are explicitly asking it. So it's something which MCP is designed to play safe unless explicitly asked. Okay, so this is one critical point that I wanted to highlight. So with that mention, I hope we are clear on where we are going. So I will go to playlist and we'll see one more last thing. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this is how we were using the MCP. We will try to have MCP invocations which are running on the remote, and we will try to create our own MCP servers. But with that mention, do like, do subscribe, do share, and mention in the comment section if there is any more information you want me to do, or any corrections or any suggestions. Okay, and do subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. That's how I get support. So if anything else you want to ask or any kind of questions, do mention in the comment section. That's all for today. All the best. Thank you.